Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen J Lotus, Pimp Sun Kiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast, hopefully, with part 2 of the spiritual analysis slash reading for Miss Erica Mena. Now, in this one, we will be zoning in on the specificities of the question: is Erica Mena racist? And the answers that these cards present. Now, the footage should be evidence enough, right? But I'm still say allegedly, just because I don't know this lady personally. I don't have no videos or anything else. If anything else, you just got the little microaggressions and all the different types of stuff. So allegedly. But I'm also be clear too that I believe what the cards are presenting here. So, is Erica Mena racist, colorist, bigoted, futurist, this, that, and the third? And the cards that are present here indicate yes. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, I oblige you to, so that you have a more in-depth understanding of what's about to be said about the roots of her bigotry. Allegedly. So, we have the Knight of Wands here, which is the re-implementation that she feels less. She recognizes her oppression that she is subject to in this hierarchical society that we live in. And as said in part 1, she uses that essentially, or she has chosen to use that essentially as a tool, a convenient fluff to be a victim and a villain at the same time. She justifies her actions with her victimhood. And so if you look at the imagery of the card and you see this man essentially twirling a mace or twirling a wand, you can see that man, quote unquote, as like a drum major, if you will, leaders of a band, also having the control, anyone who does color guard or drum major work or anything of the sort, twirling a baton, things of that nature. That's an implementation of control, and control is not always bad. It's just also not always good. And so what this is indicating here, especially with the card being sideways, is Erica taking situations that were meant to make her better and an advocate for the oppressed. She ended up using the control she has for the worst in order to simply benefit herself. So the racism, the colorism, the bigotry that is being picked up through Erica here, allegedly, is by way of her having a unhealthy attachment to privilege, coming from a deprived experience, a deprived mindset, an impoverished mindset. She operates from a place of desperation to feel special, to experience privilege. And a part of this is in order to dissociate herself from the reality of the oppression that she has experienced and experiences in this hierarchical society that we live in. And also, it is to be noted that in this case, it is the Knight of Wands as opposed to the Page of Wands and or the Princess of Wands, specifically being the fact that it is male represented here. It's male represented, indicating Erica's male identification, toxic male identification specifically, because this goes back, and again, watch part 1, but this goes back to the mindset of, in simple terms here, men being stronger than women, having the societal advantage. So she thinks that the toxic, patriarchal, subscribing men are the ones with the power. So they're the ones that are right by default. So in order for her to be successful in life, she has to subscribe to those same attributes, not realizing that all of those attributes work against her. Which leads us to the Seven of Wands. Her feeling like that functionality and subscribing to the pretty privilege, the misogynoir, the misogyny, the sexism, the toxic hierarchical society standards and all of that. Her thinking that that's getting her so far in life, and it has gotten her opportunities, but it's causing her a lot of bad karma at the same time, because she's not using those experiences for what she was supposed to use those experiences for. She's instead committed to becoming what she once despised, and what she honestly at heart still despises, but it seems like she's having a hard time shaking it because she can't separate herself. She is refusing to separate herself from the attachment to how she feels like the darkness benefits her. And so it gets her places, but it only gets her so far, and then it knocks her 12 steps back. And eventually it'll end up being some shit that she can't come back from. And that's what's channeling through here. Allegedly. But we're going to move on to the third card presented here. And I had a feeling this video wasn't going to be long. The cards really got straight into it. And the way that the messages are channeling through me here is really getting straight to the point. The ancestors are being very clear. So, the Ten of Cups. And this is tapping into some things that a lot of people are not going to want to accept. But Erica is Puerto Rican. Erica is melanated. She is not black, quote unquote, but she also is not white. And being the fact that she is not white and she's melanated and she's Puerto Rican, and this is also what's being channeled through this Ten of Cups here, this whole layout, the reading, the spiritual analysis of it all, is what's being channeled through here from Spirit and the ancestors, that Erica has black ancestors. And if that's hard for you to accept, I oblige you to do research on Puerto Rican heritage and culture and the slave trade and all that. But that's also what's channeling through here. Erica has Puerto Rican ancestors, allegedly. So there's also, that's being said to say that Erica has a lot of self-hate. A lot of self-hate going on, and a lot of that comes from a lot of generational curses, pathologies, and things of that nature that are a result of slavery, that are a result of that transatlantic slave trade, that are a result of the things that her black ancestors had to experience, on down to the brainwashing and the instilling of the self-hate and all that. So this is indicating a severe identity crisis that Erica has going on, because Erica, allegedly, by way of what these cards are presenting here and what the energy is presenting here, Erica has attached herself to identifying with toxic men and identifying with Eurocentric beliefs and standards of beauty and colorism and featureism and all that as a convenience to try to protect herself. It's a trauma response. But the reality is, she is a melanated person. She is a woman, a melanated woman with black ancestors. Therefore, her bigotry is also rooted in pure self-hate and trying to be something that she is not in order to avoid facing her shit and to avoid stepping into the depths of her divine purpose, her actual divine purpose. Because a lot of people claim they want to step into their divinity, they want to step into their divine purpose and all of that, but they don't want to actually do the work. There's work that comes with it, and it's painful at times. And the way that it is painful, I'm picking up that it makes her feel weak. And again, she has a warped view of power and empowerment from whatever the relationships were that she experienced and witnessed throughout her childhood and her young adulthood and all that. So she doesn't see the vulnerability and the facing that vulnerability and the darkness and all of that. She doesn't see it as powerful. She sees it as weakness. And in certain ways, at heart, at spirit, her higher self knows what she's depriving herself of, but she doesn't feel worthy of the actual greatness that she could accomplish. And it's just easier for her to be mediocre, mentally unstable, emotionally unstable. It's just easy for her, and she's committed to how she feels like that's easy. But it's becoming harder and harder and harder and harder and harder for her to be comforted in that chaos as the shit catches up with her, as that reality catches up with her. Again, allegedly. But that's what's channeling through here. That's what the cards are giving. And it's giving that until Erica truly educates herself on where she comes from, where her people come from, and how that makes her who and what she is, and also the depths of her demons and the pure wrong that she's done in her life, and trying to be a victim and a villain at the same time, and basically dishonoring herself and dishonoring her ancestors through and through, regardless of their race, just completely dishonoring her ancestors and the reality of all of the cultures that she comes from. Until she does that shadow work for real, and also get some therapy and take it serious for real, she's gonna be stuck in a cycle of brainwashed elements, sheep mentality, superficiality, the toxicness of it, the bigoted mindset being passed down, self-hate being passed down, vindictiveness and vitriol and chaos being passed down. Until she does that shadow work, it's going to continue to be that throughout her bloodline. That's what's coming through, allegedly. That's what's going to continue through her bloodline until she does that shadow work. That's what's channeling through here. That's what's coming through with the cards. That's what's coming through with the energy. And like I said, allegedly. But again, that's what's channeling through. That's what is being shown in the cards. And in my opinion, that's what's been shown from what's been displayed about her on camera as well. So, with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this cow dry. And I'm thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quarters for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.